is current client. Initially when the application is deployed, both will be 0, no? Total client also 0, current client also 0. So assume that I will deploy the application into the server. As soon as I deploy it, the context object gets created. Context object gets created. Immediately this method gets executed first. Yes or no? So this is an event and that logic gets executed. That is okay. So fine. Next, if a request is done, the request is done will be done to what? On JSP now. Now you know that when a request is done to a JSP, immediately the session object gets created. So the first client, for the first client, you can display application.get attribute of TC, application.get attribute of CC. For both it will be what? 1 and 1. Yes, why it is 1 and 1? See here it was 0, but why it will become 1 and 1? Because as soon as the request is made to this JSP, which event happens? Session object gets created. As soon as the session object gets created, what happens? See this? This method gets executed. Session created logic gets executed. What is the logic you have written here? se.getSession. So this is how you get the reference to the session object in HTTP session listener interface class. You'll get it. Then what I'll do? After getting a reference to session, I'll get the reference to context also. Why I need the reference to context? Because TC and CC are there in context object. So which method I'll call? Session.getSelectContext. This is one more method. There is one method called as session.getSelectContext. Go and refer to the Java doc. Okay. So the return type of that is context. So now you are having two objects, session and context. Now these two objects are made as instance variable. Why? Because I use it in both the methods. I'll use these two objects in session created also as well as session destroyed also. That's why I made it as instance variable. Okay. So fine. Then after getting the reference to context object, what I am doing? I'll get the value from the context. Which one? TC also I'll get. And after getting TC, what I'll do? I'll increment it by 1. Similarly, CC also what I'll do? I'll increment it by 1. You see, integer.parseInt, I'll get it. Int t. T is equal to t plus 1. Incremented by 1. That new value from 0 it got changed to what? 1. 1 I'll put it into context object again. It will be replaced. Old value of 0 will be replaced with 1. Similarly, I'll get which one? CC. That also I'll increment it by 1 and I'll put it into the context object. It will be replaced. 0 will be replaced with 1. Fine. That has changed. So that is when it is displaying here. It will display you what? One. It will display you now. Okay. Similarly, okay. Now another user logs in. What happens? Again my session listener. One more session, one home.jsp will come. Again which one will execute? Same thing. So current users will be what now? 2, 2. Okay. So when they log out, this will go on executing. I'll show you that. What will happen now? I'll only decrement which one? Current clients. I'll not decrement total clients. That's all. Total clients I want to remain as it is now. So when the session object is destroyed, I'll be only decrementing current client. And I'll get that. I'll minus it now and I'll put it again back into the context object. That's it. Very simple logic. Okay. So this all logic you should know how to write now. teaching logic is not my duty. My duty is only to teach you what? Concepts. So getting the idea, you should learn how to write the logics now. Yeah? So fine, let's see this now. So what I'll do, we'll do one thing. I'll remove those two applications which are deployed. Otherwise, again, they'll also go on getting executed. So better what we'll do, remove these two, stop the server, remove it. Otherwise, you'll see output from those examples also. That's why better you remove it. Okay, it's done now. Now, I'll deploy this. Run on server. And please understand, run this up. Application outside, not in this browser, because you need more clients now. So one browser will be treated as what? One client now. Firefox one client, Internet Explorer one client, Chrome browser is one client. See this now, how it will happen. First see the output clearly. So what is the URL? So please execute this program from outside. How many browsers you have, that much better it is. See this, I'll make the request. So right now when I deployed it, in the context object TC and CC are what? 0. When I make the request, sorry, I've taken the wrong, okay, sorry, the URL would be 03 session listener. So that's the URL. Yeah, see this? I think I'll close all the browsers once again if it is there. Okay, none are opened. Yeah, see this now. I'll make the first request. So TC and CC are both 0. Now see this, I'll paste, I'll make the request. total users 1, current users 1. Correct? Now see this. I'll open Chrome browser. You have to open a different browser only. So in the Chrome browser also, make the request. Total users 2, current users 2. Why? Because session object gets created. You know, in the JSP, the session object is getting created implicitly. As soon as the session creation, now immediately the session object gets created, session creation method gets executed. Session creation, what it is doing? Incrementing both. And that incrementing TC and CC, that changed value will be displayed how? In home.jsp. Application dot get attribute. TC and CC display. Next, I'll open, if you want, Firefox. On my browser. So what will be the result now? Three. Correct? Huh? So 3 browsers I opened. One is which one? Explorer. The other one would be Chrome. Other one is Firefox. Fine. Now one by one they'll log out. Let's see. Whom you want to log out now? Anyone can log out. Supposingly Chrome is there. Chrome logs out first. Log out. So when he logs out in the second select, what I have done now? Session.invalidate I have done. So as soon as the invalidate happens, what will happen? Session destroyed method will get executed. Okay, he'll log out now. Fine. Now you refresh here. Current users is 2. Total users are 3. Okay. Again he'll log out. Okay. Now you come to Chrome browser now. Here, still this. You refresh. Refreshing is nothing but what? Making another request and one more response it is. So that time again. The same logic will execute. Which one? 3 and 1 is there, but which logic is getting executed? Home.jsp only. Get attribute TC is 3, CC is what? 1. Okay. If you want to go on making more requests, see this. Again Chrome 4, 2. Then okay, this is there. Firefox again. Different browsers. Don't open it in a single browser. I'll open and show it in a single browser also. So if you want, it will not work. Yeah? Again you log out. This one is logged out. Again refresh here. Total users 5, current users something like 3 it will display. Log out. So finally, how many are there? Refresh 5 and 2 like that. So it goes on giving you the count. Yeah? So this is how things get executed here. So clearly see the flow now, how it is happening. When I deployed it, now I show you the code one by one how it is getting executed. When I deployed it, what happened? My context listener got executed. TC and CC counter were set. Okay, then TC and CC are right now 0. The first request will be done to home.jsp. But before it gets the value and display, session object has been created. So when the session object has been created, TC and CC have been incremented to what? This method has got executed. So obviously TC and CC new value will be what? 1 and 1. That gets executed and it will display it. It is displaying here in the browser. So once it is displayed, when you click next, From home.jsp, it will display it. When I click log out here, in home.jsp, see this. This is Chrome or whatever. So it is getting displayed. So I'll click log out. As soon as I click log out, what happens? Actually, it is the request is going to what? Log out servlet. In the log out servlet, what I am doing? Session.invalidate. As soon as I say session.invalidate, session object will be destroyed. As soon as session object is destroyed, now in my session listener, what happens? This logic gets executed. It will decrement the CC now, current client. Yeah. So it will decrement the current client, and it will, that same display it will be showed now when you refresh it. Clear? So that's the logic. Nothing big here. So go through all this. So we are depending on session creation and session destruction events. So one simple example I given you and just given you the idea. Here I put SOP is there in those methods. Created, destroyed, whatever it is, the same. In those classes, listener classes I have written, it is printing. That's it. Yeah. So if you want, you can refer to the Java doc also. I'll close everything now. You can refer to the Java doc.